So this is some weirdness. Bloomberg reported that people had dev kits of the Nintendo Switch 4K or the 4K Nintendo Switch, and that people were making games for it. This is coming from Kotaku, who's talking about Bloomberg. They said that development kits for it still exist, even though nothing's been shown to us, and they only did the OLED screen kind of thing when those rumors of a 4K console were coming out. And they said this new information is based on accounts from employees at 11 different game companies. 11 different ones, all saying, yeah, we've got that. We've got that. We've got that. So story breaks earlier today, right? Then it pops on Twitter. And then tonight, Nintendo has issued a statement to their investors denying the Bloomberg report, saying it has not supplied, quote, tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support. And you're like, so is somebody just lying?
I mean, obviously. Someone is lying.
Yeah.
11 people are saying they have it, and Nintendo's like, no, they don't. And you're like, yeah, but you're talking to the investors. Like, what does that mean here? You know what I'm saying? Like, are the investors...
How specifically did they say it? Does it say have like a direct quote?
Yes, the quote,
okay.
Tools to drive game development for a Nintendo... Oh, sorry. It issued a statement. Let's see. Nintendo, it says, we also want to restate that, as we announced in July, we have no plans for any new models other than Nintendo Switch OLED model, which will launch on October 8th, 2021.
So they don't have any plans for any other model, but they might have still given the tools for some reason.
Did they expressly come out and deny that we do not have a 4K machine that anybody else is using or developing for? Because that's not what I'm getting. What I'm getting is that they're saying...
they did not supply, quote, tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support.
Okay, then that does count.
I don't know. You know, it's so hard to know because
I wouldn't think that they'd be able to say that definitively to investors.
I'm gonna read you the tweet
if it was real.
A news report on September 30th, 2021 in Japan, because that's tomorrow for us, falsely claims that Nintendo is supplying tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support. To ensure correct understanding among our investors and customers, we want to clarify that this report is not true.
Okay, then I'm going to take them at their word because I feel like they'd get in a lot of trouble telling investors something different. I don't know, maybe it works different in Japan, but that feels...
That's weird.
I mean, right? But why would all these people say that they have them? That's the thing that's killing me. I'm like, well, but if 11 different people, like, that doesn't sound like getting together in cahoots.
Maybe. And are they tools maybe that could be used if it was a 4K thing, but they're just not, that's just not what Nintendo is making. But
yeah, I wonder if they have,
like, we gave these guys a hammer and they're saying, like, they gave us a tool that we could build a huge wall with. They're like, no.
Right.
We gave you that to put those nails in that board over there. Like, but we can also use this hammer for this. I don't know.
The only thing that I could think is maybe they built something prototype-esque, and then they said, hey, check this out. We're not saying this is going to be a thing we ever do, but it's just kind of cool we made it. But why would they make 11 of them?
Yeah.
Right.
Unless it was like a pass around kind of thing. But even then, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. That just feels like very strongly worded thing that if it's a lie, could get them in a lot of trouble with entities that restrict
especially when it comes to if they're telling their investors what's going on. Like, you don't want to mess with that when you're a publicly traded company. Like, that's a surefire way of the stock to go, and also you could just get in trouble for false information. So
also
it's not adding up.
Again, this is all speculation, but if that many developers had access to dev kits of things like that, I feel like it would have come out before even now, especially if they've had it for years, like they've been saying. That feels like that wouldn't all of a sudden, just because somebody at Bloomberg even if it's Schreier, was like,
Right.
y'all can talk to me though, right? Oh yeah, all 11 just all of a sudden come out of the works. Nah, I don't know. Something seems fishy. I don't know what the truth is. Something in the whole story seems fishy.
Something's fishy.
Mm-hmm.
Bloomberg, this is saying this from them. Employees at 11 game companies said their teams were in possession of Nintendo's 4K development kit for the Switch. The companies span the globe, ranging from large publishers to small studios, and including at least one that has never made a console game before, Zynga Inc. According to the employees, who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to discuss their project publicly. And so you're like,
Who's the author of this article? Do we know?
Takashi Mokazuki. And
So they
Olga
even gave it to a dev
Karif.
that's never made a console game?
Listen.
What would
Makes
they give it
perfect
out?
sense.
I don't know.
I think this is a swag bag that people misunderstood.
Yeah,
They got
man.
the OLED one and they were like, this looks like 4K. And they're like, doesn't it? And they just believed it was 4K. Oh my gosh. So I
Wow.
don't know. It's just so weird to lie about it on either side.
Yeah, it is. I
Mhm.
agree.
Like why say you have that and then why say you're not going to do it? Because now, doesn't it feel like they can't do it now? Like if a 4K Nintendo Switch comes out in 2 years, you're going to be like, y'all were lying. That's crazy.
But, I mean, how many times do we have to say it? Nintendo got a Nintendo. Like,
But didn't
we're
it-
still going to buy their stuff regardless.
Didn't it say somewhere in that article or somewhere, either the original one, not necessarily their rebuttal, but about that these devs were saying we've had this hardware for years? Isn't that what it said?
Did
Yeah.
it say for years?
It-
Like
it's-
I want to say it said something like 4 or 5
Yeah, I
years.
think that's what
It's
you-
just,
what you
I just
said.
find it. Again, somebody's obviously lying, but I just find it hard to believe that could have been in
So
that
maybe-
long and there wouldn't have been anything out about it. I mean, I guess there was rumors. So.
Yeah, maybe when they were first designing the Switch, they had toyed with the idea of making it 4K. If
That's
they've
what
had
I wonder. That's what
And
I
then they
thought
realized,
too.
oh, battery life's even worse.
Well, that and they probably discovered that the price would have to be so high that they were like, we can't do this. This is it wouldn't make any sense. We'd have
Yeah.
to sell it for $500. Nobody's gonna buy a $500 handheld.
Yep.
And then Valve was like, hold my beer.
right.
Yes, they will.
Move.
Fine, I'll do it.